watching News 4 San Antonio today with World Car Sky 4, the only helicopter up in the morning.
Breaking news overnight, a woman behind bars for setting a family home on fire, police say, and the reason investigators say she did it.
And the Spurs get ready for a Game 2 tonight, the way you can also let Charles Barkley know just how wrong he is about San Antonio women.
First, though, we do want to get right to our breaking news that's happening on the northwest side. What you're seeing, a view from World Car Sky 4, high above a fire right now that burned an apartment complex. This is on Oakdale Way, which is near Babcock and Wurzbach.
Now, right now, we know firefighters have put out a bulk of the flames, but they're still out there checking things out for right now for any hot spots. We know several people have been evacuated. There's no word yet on any injuries from this fire, but we have a crew on the ground there gathering new information, and we will get an update from them in just a moment.
And also, Albert is watching the winds that's impacting firefighters and really impacting all of us.
It really is. I just checked, and the winds are down to about 13 miles an hour. That's great. They were up to 26. They were gusting a couple of hours ago to 26 miles an hour, which would, of course, not help that fire event. But, you know, they're down to 10, 13 miles an hour, so we're better. The clouds are certainly in place. That's very typical for this time of year. Don't expect rain out of them. I saw a little drizzle, and that's about it. Temperatures in the 70s and 60s. We will make it back up again to about 88 degrees this afternoon. We'll talk about some rain that we're expecting to come up Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, and let's talk about traffic right now. Jessica, Heather, what's going on with our on-time traffic? In respect to that fire, is it impacting roadways there?
Right. Well, we definitely wanted to show this shot because Eckerd and Babcock are enough of a through road out there that you might have some issues. Now, he's showing the apartment, but around this area, keep in mind, Eckerd and Babcock are right around this, so that could impede your destination this morning and getting there on time. Let's take a look at our maps and you can get a better idea. Of course, that's on the northwest side. Again, Babcock is a through road for many people out there. That's where that major fire is ongoing, and Michael and Leslie are keeping you on top of that. Take a look. There's also a major accident out there listed at 410 southbound at Culebra. We've seen really no signs of this, especially in our main lanes this morning. Hopefully this should be cleared fairly soon, but if you're traveling on any of those side roads, keep it in mind as you're traveling through there. We are going to talk a little bit of construction later on this morning, so stay tuned and we'll join you with our on-time traffic.
Thank you, Jessica. And breaking news overnight as police arrested two women accused of setting a deadly fire on the northeast side. Police hauled in 19-year-old Miranda Herrera and a 17-year-old girl overnight. Police say the pair set fire to a home in Castle Pines back in December, which killed her brother David and seriously injured their father. Police say she did it for the insurance money. Right now, Herrera faces capital murder charges. That teen faces attempted capital murder charges.
Developing right now, police are trying to track down the parents of a young boy found wandering the streets overnight.
News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon is live with where that child is right now.
Good morning, everyone. Police tell us the child did not have a shirt or shoes on when he was found last night. Police found him on San Luis Street over in the Alazan Apache Courts around 10:30 last night. He wasn't wearing a shirt or shoes, as I mentioned, and people called in the police wanting to check it out because he was just simply wandering the street. Police waited for more than an hour to find the boy's parents, but according to police, no one showed up. They got that car seat for him, got him in the car seat. CPS showed up, and so right now he's staying at a children's shelter with Child Protective Services. Until his parents are found, it's still unclear if the children's parents are going to be facing any charges this morning. Live downtown, Christina De Leon, News 4 San Antonio.
Thank you, Christina. Happening today, San Antonio leaders will consider whether they want to implement a new truancy program. The program is in partnership with Bexar County. It will create a standardized method for dealing with truancy cases in all school districts in the county. The goal is to reduce the number of students who end up in court. Bexar County approved the plan last month, and the city could follow suit at their meeting this afternoon.
TxDOT wants to know how you feel about traffic along I-35 on the east side, and so they are holding an open house tonight to get feedback on plans for the highway from Flores to New Braunfels and then between AT&T Parkway and Benz Engelman. Tonight's meeting is at Central Catholic High School, and it will run from 5 to 7.
Happening today, San Antonio city leaders could agree to add new lighting to streets on the east side. Councilwoman Ivy Taylor has asked for a review to add more lights in major streets and in neighborhoods. Just this week, San Antonio was rated number 18 in streets with a dangerous design. Adding lights was one suggestion to save lives.
There's a new test out this morning of San Antonio's economy. Home values in the city have gone up. Now, that is according to the latest numbers from Zillow, which released the data overnight. We're told that San Antonio values went up 2% in April compared to last year. Zillow expects prices to rise another 2% in the next year. Of course, that is definitely good news for homeowners and home sellers, but not so much for home buyers.
And happening today, officials plan to celebrate the end of the project along Hunt Lane. Crews widened a mile-long stretch of the road to 4 lanes and added new sidewalks and curbs. They even made drainage improvements. The money to pay for it all came from the city's 2007 bond program.
Today, the city of San Antonio wants to know what you think their budget priorities should be for the next year. So tonight at 6:30, city staff will explain how the budget process works and also can answer questions at a community session. That will be held at the Northeast Service Center Tool Yard. Right now, residents can also give their feedback at public library branches, senior centers, and at City Hall.
And we are all over the Spurs as they gear up for Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. And right now, the Spurs are up 1-0 in the series, and we're told the team will not hold a shoot-around before tonight's game, but the Thunder will. The game is at the AT&T Center. Tip-off is at 8 o'clock. Tickets, we're told, are still available for as little as $60, but you can win a pair of lower-level seats and a parking pass. We are giving it away a little later this hour.
Happening today, the women of San Antonio get to take out their frustrations on Charles Barkley. Express Lube, Tika Molina, and a cute piñata want Spurs fans to take a swing at a Barkley piñata. Yes, that is happening at 5 this evening at the Express Lube on Broadway. And you can also grab a free Chuck Don't Know t-shirt.
I hope we get some video of that Charles Barkley piñata. All right, Albert Flores, what's going on outside?
Well, guys, it's very cloudy, not as windy as it was a couple of hours ago, and that's good because of that big apartment fire. But the clouds, the plume of moisture is here. It's low-level moisture, so as the sun will burn it off very easily, take us from the 70s back into the upper 80s this afternoon. So as you're making plans for the kids this morning, how to dress them light. It's going to be a warm day. Once again, 88 degrees with winds gusting to 20-plus miles an hour. There is some rain expected. I'll have details on when and where we expect it to fall. How warm is it going to get as you plan your Memorial Day weekend with all the barbecues? And we'll update you on the pollen count.
Thank you, Albert. Coming up, a shocking new study suggests that most of us are walking around with a virus.
The reason that doctors think it could actually hold a cure to one deadly cancer.
And we are also following some breaking news from the Northwest Side. What you're seeing right now, an apartment fire that has forced people to evacuate there and the emergency response. We do have a crew there, and we will get an update after this quick break.
Back time now, 10 minutes after 6. We are following breaking news right now from the Northwest Side.
Firefighters have evacuated an apartment after a fire broke out just around 5 this morning. News 4 San Antonio, Sylvia Rincon is there. And Sylvia, what can you tell us now?
Well, we're hearing that there are no reports of any injuries. That's good news right now, or any major injuries. But we also know that it looks like they have contained most of this fire. When we arrived here, there were flames shooting into the sky, lighting up this neighborhood. At this point, we're not seeing any flames from where we are. We did move around to the other side. We know that they are monitoring hot spots. Pretty much that first building in front of the complex is gutted, and we are told that about a dozen apartments were affected. Several other residents were evacuated. Firefighters are still here. They're going to be here throughout the morning trying to contain this fire. No word on a cause just yet or exactly where it started. We're hoping to get an update here in just a few minutes. Reporting live on the city's Northwest Side, I'm Sylvia Rincon, News 4, San Antonio.
All right. Thank you, Sylvia.
Of course, we know that that area is a bit of a thoroughfare or near roads that a lot of people use to get to work and school. Jessica's got the latest on how to get around that. Really, firefighters saying avoid the area right now.
Absolutely. I mean, with such a significant fire in that area, let's take you to our maps right now. And here's what you can expect. Of course, I would stay on Bandera. If you're having to come through down from 1604, Babcock really might not be the way you want to go right now. Again, Eckert really is very close to Babcock and Bandera. So this is on the 8,000 block around that area. And of course, Sylvia has more this morning, but just stay away from Eckert, and we'll be looking at more alternate routes, specific alternate routes coming up. But again, just a dangerous area to be traveling through. Let's take it out to our roads at this point in time. Here's 410 at Starcrest, close to the 35. 410 Junction on the northeast side, and it is up to speed. We should have no major accidents on our main commutes at this point in time. Even as we move over on the 410 Jackson Keller commute, you should look pretty good. Again, alternate routes coming up for you where that major fire persists, so we'll join you in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
Thank you, Jessica. For your health right now, a shocking study overnight suggests that more than 2/3 of Americans are infected with a strain of HPV. Now, the doctors looked at DNA samples from hundreds of healthy people and found that 69% had one of the 109 strains of HPV. Now, it turns out very few of those strains cause cervical cancer or STDs. Doctors say most strains are harmless, and right now they plan on studying those harmless strains to help understand the strains and what they do to lead to cancer.
Time now, 13 minutes after 6. Developing news right now in New Mexico, where officials think the public could be exposed to dangerous radiation, all because of cat litter. State officials say the federal government improperly stored nuclear waste at a site back in February. One of the barrels broke open, and the main theory behind that is that officials used organic cat litter to soak up the moisture. Before then, they used inorganic cat litter and never had a problem. State officials say the organic litter may have caused that barrel to heat up, but the federal government insists it is following safety guidelines.
Still to come this morning, Cleto is showing off his jump roping skills at Hoffman Elementary. We're going to see if he can hang with them. I don't know. They look pretty good. That's coming up.
First, though, live look at the World Car Tower camera. The wind's whipping along there. Albert will have a complete forecast coming up right after the break.
Welcome back to News 4 San Antonio. Today, 17 minutes after 6 now. A lot of people head to the gym or go for a run in the morning. But right now, Cleto is trying out a different workout.
That's right. He is with the high steppers at Hoffman Elementary, jumping rope. Cleto, I don't see you jumping in the air right now. What's going on?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Michael. You're absolutely looking at it correctly. I am not jumping yet, but I'm here with Aaliyah, and they're about to start their routine right now. Leah, you're in 5th grade. Now, you've been jumping rope for how long?
3 years.
3 years, okay. And what is it that you like about jumping rope?
That you get exercise and it's fun.
Now, being part of you're the captain of the High Steppers. Now, what do you have to do? Because I want to make the team, okay? When we come back, I'm going to try to make the team. What do I have to do to go ahead and make the team?
You have to be responsible and you have to practice at home. So you can get better. And we also practice here, and we do different routines.
Now, this routine right here is, what is this called?
Traveling.
Traveling, okay. Yeah, I travel quite a bit, and I always, I gotta be honest, I've jumped rope, pretty much at home, when I work out, which is about a good 2 minutes, but, and it gets the blood, pumping. So, guys, when I come back, I'm actually gonna be part of their finale, which is, what is it called, Square?
Square, yes.
Square. So we're gonna find out what Square means when we come back. All right, guys, send it back to you.
Cleto, finale equals fireworks. Interesting. Going to see how that goes out over there.
Tickets available still?
Yes, yes, tickets are still available for purchase for tonight's Spurs game. But also, I was Facebooking out to all of my friends out there that we are going to be giving away some tickets. All you have to do is keep watching for your chance to win. We'll give you the phone number, and if you're the right caller, you will be sitting pretty at tonight's game.
Plus, you'll be parking pretty as well. A parking pass to go along with that. I mean, come on.
Can't beat that. Yesterday, I was at several schools. The first one is Oak Crest Intermediate, thanks to Tina Bernal, who invited us out there, and we had a great time. Of course, we took the Ancira GMC Storm Tracker, had the kiddos out there. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. So thanks so much out to our kids and, having us out. I love taking the tracker out and meeting everybody out at Oak Crest. Thanks. Well, big storm, huge storm on its way into Texas. Right now, it's expected to produce some possible funnel clouds in Colorado. So people around Denver and, they're just concerned that this could be a big storm. For us, I'm hoping it stays fairly well to the north to provide maybe a little bit of rain. We can certainly use that. But it is Memorial Day weekend. We kind of really want to barbecue and all that good stuff. This low-level jet stream provides low-level, shallow moisture. So when the sun comes up, it burns it off. 60s and 70s across the region at this early hour. Aquifer down an entire foot to 636.7. So that's not a good thing. Let's check your 4-zone forecast. Pretty quiet out there. After the sun burns off, a nice afternoon, 88 to 92 from Brackettville over towards Carrizo. And then back over from the hill country, Rock Springs to New Braunfels, 82 to 86. Out east from Karnes City to Hallettsville, 84 to 88. Here in the central zones, going from Hondo back to Seguin and down to Tilden, some spots will hit 90 degrees. We're expecting about 88, very much what we did Monday and Tuesday. We're going to repeat again today with those strong south winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, then, 70 degrees, still warm and breezy, a toasty start to the morning. And then we've got scattered showers that come in on Sunday. I think most of them will actually be out over the western zones. A little chance as well on Memorial Day and on Tuesday.
We'll take a little rain. Not too much, a little bit.
Not too much.
Weekend.
Get the barbecues going still.
It'd be perfect if it was overnight, but we'll have to just see.
Yeah. All right, we are just a few days away from an exciting event to help you get healthy this summer.
We are fired up about this. We are sponsoring the Health and Wellness Expo. It's this Saturday at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. It will feature several vendors who want to motivate you to make healthier living choices. That runs from 11 to 5, and it includes a special appearance by Dr. Oz. And we hope to see you out there again. That is Saturday.
We'll be out there for sure. Hey, Jessica is up next with a check on your roadways. We know of at least one major trouble spot out there, and she'll show you how to get around it next.
And later in the newscast, new reports out this morning that Donald Sterling asked someone to lie for him. The person the NBA says almost didn't tell the truth.
And we're following some breaking news right now on the northwest side. This is World Car Sky 4 above a fire that burned an apartment complex on Oakdale Way. That is near Babcock and Wurzbach.
And right now, we do know that firefighters have put out the bulk of the flames. As you can see, they're checking for any hot spots at this point. You can still see that it's definitely smoldering there. We know that several people have been evacuated. Right now, no word on injuries. Earlier we heard it appears to be that no one was seriously injured. There's a traffic mess in that area, though. We do want to bring in Jessica and Erica, or Eric, I should say, to give more on that.
Good morning. This is obviously Jessica, and we're seeing that this fire out there obviously has been put out, but I want to check in with our World Car Sky for Eric Johnson, who's out there. Now, with this being an 8,000 Oakdale Way, we know this is very close to Babcock, very close to Eckerd. These roads, there's a tremendous amount of crews out here. What can you tell us as far as any through traffic?
I can tell you that you cannot get onto Oakdale Way at all. Also a road named North Knoll, that is blocked off out at Oakdale Way, two major roadways. This is Eckerd. You can see that on both sides of Eckerd, Jessica, we do have fire trucks on both sides of the road here being blocked off. And the other major roadway is Babcock Road. This is Babcock. You can see that looks okay. People going onto Babcock aren't having any problems whatsoever. But if you try to come down Eckerd Road, which I'm doing with the camera now, you're going to run into quite a bit of mess. At least 5 or 6 fire trucks there, 7 emergency vehicles. Obviously, Oakdale Way completely shut down. And North Knoll is a problem for people. There is an elementary school in the area. You know, you're going to want to, if you live in this area, find a different route if you go down any of these roads.
Absolutely, and some of those alternate routes include Evers, Bandera, Wurzbach, and Huebner. We are going to expand on this coming up on some alternate routes you can take with our maps, but right now, pretty much that entire area is going to be difficult to travel through. You can see here on the northwest side exactly where that's sitting. Again, Huebner, Wurzbach, Bandera, much better routes, but again, you still might encounter some of those emergency crews in the area as they are still fairly close to where that apartment fire is standing. We'll take another look at this coming up in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
All right, thank you, Jessica.
And we also want to check what the weather is going to do today and when we might see some rain, Albert.
Hey, guys, it is in the forecast. The winds have died down. That was good for the fire. The clouds are back in place. You can see them just plume up over the last few hours. It's a low-level kind of cloud cover, and it burns off pretty quickly, 60s and 70s at this early hour. So as you're, taking the kids out to school this morning, putting them out on the bus stops, know that it's going to be a warm day, lots of sunshine and highs in the upper 80s.
Thank you, Albert. Coming up, a new twist overnight in the big VA patient scandal.
We'll go live to Washington, where Congress is getting frustrated with the VA, the new steps they could take today to move that process along.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio today with World Car Sky 4, the only helicopter up in the morning.
Developing news right now as Congress turns up the heat on the VA. The steps they want to see happen today that could get to the bottom of a scheduling scandal.
First, though, we want to start out with a view from our World Car Tower camera on this Wednesday, May 21st. Winds kicking along, as you can see, from Old Glory there. and a Spurs flag right below it.
Yes, go Spurs, go. Good morning, everyone. 6:31 now. I'm Leslie Bowl.
And I'm Michael Garafalo. Albert has San Antonio's most accurate forecast. How strong are those winds out there now?
Right now, they're about 13 miles an hour. They had been 26, so we've lost a lot of that, and that's great because with this fire that we're dealing with on the northwest side, we could take a little break from the winds. The overcast is in. It looks, as you saw from the tower cam, really super thick, but actually it's relatively thin, and so the sun's going to be very effective at burning these clouds off, as it has for the last 3 or 4 days. 70s and 60s up in the hill country. We're looking for a pretty nice afternoon. Minus the winds picking up again. Highs about 88 degrees. There's a good chance of rain coming up in the next few days. We'll talk about that and the latest on the pollen count.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Albert. Do want to show you a little bit of what's happening outside right now as the city starts to wake up on this game day. There's a look at 410 at Starcrest. You can see light traffic there. And we're checking out another part of 410, this time at Jackson Keller. In the next hour, that area is going to get very busy, so we'll keep watching it for you.
Now to a story developing in the day ahead. The man tasked with fixing the VA hospital system heads to the source of the scandal.
And it comes as new outrage surfaces on Capitol Hill about a scheduling scandal that does include San Antonio. And Tracy Potts is following all of this for us in Washington. And Tracy, I understand Congress is having some trouble getting information from the VA.
Well, they've issued a subpoena for records from 24 people. So far, they've got records from 1, and that's caused some lawmakers to question whether or not, and I'm putting it in the words of Representative Jeff Miller of Florida, whether or not the VA has something to hide here. There is a vote that's scheduled in the House today to make it easier to fire people in the VA. That's got backing from Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives. It's expected to pass. Meantime, as you said, the man that President Obama has put in charge of overseeing this investigation for the White House, he's headed out to Phoenix today. Rob Neighbors is going to brief the president this morning, then head out to Phoenix today for some meetings tomorrow with veterans groups to tour the VA out there and to sit down with that new interim director to see what they're doing to change things and how they're trying to get to the bottom of what may have been going on with this scheduling scandal. Were records falsified? And of course, it's not just Phoenix. San Antonio, other VA facilities in Texas and Colorado have been wrapped up in these allegations as well.
And Tracy, I know that a lot of people have been calling for the Veterans Secretary, Shinseki, to resign. Is he getting any of that in Washington?
Still getting the backing from the White House. No sense from the White House that the president wants him to resign, although we saw the undersecretary for health resign. And now there's some backlash here on Capitol Hill about the person the president has already nominated to replace the undersecretary for health. John Cornyn of Texas says he's a career administrator. He was in charge of the person who was let go or is on administrative leave in Phoenix as a result of all of this. You know, he's an insider, essentially, is what Cornyn is saying, and they want to see someone else in that position.
And we'll have to see if that indeed happens. We'll keep watching that. Thank you so much, Tracy. And, of course, you can look for new developments on this story throughout the day on our website, which is news4sa.com. Now, we're also following another story that's developing overnight. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito issued a rare stay of execution for a Missouri death row inmate. Alito did not say what was behind the stay, but his move does suggest the court may have more to say on this soon. The inmate on death row is fighting his execution because he has a rare medical condition that could cause him harm during a lethal injection.
And also happening today, President Obama is set to designate the Organ Mountains in New Mexico as a national monument. That will prevent about 500,000 acres in southern New Mexico from being developed. Opponents say it will make it harder to patrol the border and hurt ranching. A heroin addiction is a major problem across the country, so we're working with our parent company to find solutions to the epidemic. We hope you will join us tonight for a national town hall discussion. It's going to run from 6 to 7:30. It will be streamed live on our website, news4sa.com.
There's a new test out this morning of San Antonio's economy. Home values in the city have gone up. Now, that's according to the latest numbers from Zillow, which released that data overnight. Now, we're told that San Antonio values went up 2% in April compared to last year. And Zillow expects prices to rise another 2% in the next year. Of course, that is good news for homeowners and home sellers, not so much for home buyers.
Happening today, Northeast ISD's foundation will hand out grants to teachers all over the district. The foundation will surprise teachers with $161,000 worth of funding. All of the money will be used for programs to enrich student learning.
And here's what's coming up on San Antonio Living today at 10. Meet Miss Texas. The San Antonio native is stopping by before she heads off to compete in the Miss USA pageant in New Orleans. And details on a great summer camp for kids who love art. And a new craft to try with your kids this weekend from the pages of Pinterest. Watch San Antonio Living for that and more today at 10.
All right, time for another check on our forecast. Albert Flores, what's going on? The winds were at 13 miles per hour last time we spoke.
And they still are. They're light, and that's kind of good. They certainly weren't the 27 miles an hour we had a little bit earlier. 60s, 70s at this early hour. We are going to warm up with all that sunshine expected later today. Helotes is going to hit 87 today. Balcones Heights, we're forecasting 88. Alamo Heights will be about 90. Stone Oak will get up to 87. Windcrest will be at 87. Brook City Base on the south side closer to 90, and Von Army at 89 degrees. We do have a chance of rain in that 7-day outlook, guys. We'll mention that. Of course, the pollen count and how warm it's going to get for Memorial Day.
Thank you, Albert. We are also following breaking news from the northwest side. An apartment fire has forced people to evacuate. We have a crew there right now, and we'll get more new information after this quick break. Also coming up, the way San Antonio women can let Charles Barkley know just how they feel about him and blow off some steam at the same time.
Plus, we are giving away 2 lower-level tickets to tonight's Spurs game. Stick around for your chance to win.
Watching News 4 San Antonio today with World Car Sky 4, the only helicopter up in the morning.
A woman arrested on charges that she set a fire at her family's home. The reason police say she did it, coming up.
More on that in a moment, but first we want to show you the view outside from our World Car Tower camera, and Albert is here with San Antonio's most accurate forecast, and those flags were a little straighter a little while ago, Albert.
Absolutely. They've died down. The overcast is solid. I mean, you can tell it looks a little gray out there, and over the last few hours we've gone from partly cloudy to just a solid gray overcast. Again, very shallow clouds. They look ominous, but they're not going to produce rain for you. 60s and 70s at this early hour. So we're going from the overcast into the sunshine again because that deck of clouds is so thin. 88 degrees, wind still gusting this afternoon. Of course, we want to know about the rain. We've been talking about it, still in the forecast. We'll let you know when and where, how warm it's going to get for Memorial Day, when you're barbecuing, and of course the latest on the pollen count. But right now we need to check in with Jessica and see how traffic has been affected by this big fire.
Well, right now on our roads, we are looking at a little bit of that traffic, of course, around the big fire. And that is actually the second exclamation point there that you're seeing on the west side of this. First, I want to talk about and address, we're going to let some of our reporters address that traffic with the fire. But take a look. Here's a major accident happening at 1604 northbound at New Gilbo Road. So plan for some delays in this area. And, of course, it's New Gilbo. There's 2 news there. But, again, if you need to get around this, you really may want to consider taking 151. Let's take a look at 35 at Schertz Parkway here. Already a little congested as you're making your way inbound, southbound. We're going to explore this as well as that major accident, talk a little bit more about it, and we'll join you in another few minutes with your on-time traffic.
Thank you, Jessica. And we are following breaking news right now from the northwest side. Firefighters have evacuated an apartment after flames broke out there around 5 this morning. News 4 San Antonio, Sylvia Rincon is there live. And Sylvia, I understand that you just spoke with some residents.
Yes, we did. Of course, you can imagine they've had the shock of their life. We talked to a mother of a 1-year-old. She says her baby and husband barely had time to get out with the clothes on their back. And we know that nobody was seriously injured in this. Fortunately, we did see visually, I saw one firefighter getting his arm bandaged up. Not sure exactly what happened there. We're going to get an update on that. But you can see that they have the flames pretty much contained here. I do believe they still have one of the ladder trucks still up just in case the hot spots flare up. You can see from World Car Sky 4 that this is some serious damage to the building here, extensive for sure. That first building pretty much gutted. The roof did collapse. This started just around 5 o'clock this morning, and several residents had to be evacuated. We're told that about 30 of them have been displaced. They have no idea we're going to be staying tonight. Their home pretty much gone. One resident told us they lost everything, including their 2 pet birds. Now, at this point, we're waiting to get an update from fire officials to find out exactly where this started and how it started. They are currently investigating. Arson investigators on the scene as we speak. Reporting live on the city's northwest side, I'm Sylvia Rincon, News 4, San Antonio.
Thank you, Sylvia. Developing right now, police and Child Protective Services are trying to find the parents of a young boy found wandering the streets shirtless and alone. Police found him last night on San Luis Street at the Alazan Apache Courts. Now, he was not wearing a shirt or shoes, and police then waited for more than an hour to find the boy's parents, but no one ever showed up. So the child is now staying at a children's shelter with CPS until his parents are found.
Time now is 6:43. Breaking news overnight as police arrested 2 teens accused of setting a deadly fire on the northeast side. News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon is live with the reason police say the girls set the fire.
Good morning, everyone. According to an affidavit we received overnight, the girls were after insurance money from one of the girls' fathers when the house burned. Now, the report goes on to say Miranda Herrera admitted to conspiring with her friend, who is a minor, to set her father's house on fire back on December 19th. The fire off Castle Pine killed Herrera's brother and seriously injured her father. At the time, the fire was ruled accidental. The report goes on to say Herrera's friend came forward and is cooperating with police, and both attempted several times, according to the affidavit, including lighting cooking oil in the kitchen, pouring water on electric outlets, and setting a couch on fire. Herrera now faces capital murder and attempted capital murder charges. Since her friend is a minor, she's going to be charged in juvenile court, but again, still working with police this morning. That is the latest reporting live downtown. Christina De Leon, News 4, San Antonio.
Thank you, Christina. TxDOT wants to know how you feel about traffic along I-35 on the east side. They're holding an open house tonight to get feedback on plans for the highway from Flores to New Braunfels, between AT&T Parkway and Binns Engelman. Tonight's meeting is at Central Catholic High School. It will run from 5 to 7.
Happening today, San Antonio city leaders could agree to add new lighting to some streets on the east side. Councilwoman Ivy Taylor has asked for a review to add more lights in major streets and in neighborhoods. Just this week, San Antonio was rated number 18 when it comes to streets with a dangerous design. And adding lights was one of the suggestions to save lives.
Happening today, officials plan to celebrate the end of the project along Hunt Lane. Crews widened a mile-long stretch of the road to 4 lanes and added new sidewalks and curbs. They even made drainage improvements. The money to pay for it all came from the 2007 bond program by the city.
Happening today, thousands of museums across the country will offer free admission to military families this summer. The Blue Star Museums program will launch here in San Antonio. 5 local museums are taking part, including the Alamo and the Museum of Art.
And breaking overnight news from Egypt, where a court has convicted ousted former President Hosni Mubarak of embezzlement. In a hearing that happened just a few hours ago, Mubarak was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Prosecutors say he stole money during his tenure as president.
Happening right now, political experts are reading the tea leaves about the Tea Party. Andrew Spencer shows us the way incumbents managed to outmaneuver their challengers.
Uniting the establishment and the Tea Party. The highest-profile primary showdown on Tuesday pitted Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell against the Tea Party-backed challenger in Kentucky, with McConnell coming out on top. In Idaho, Congressman Mike Simpson also turned back a Tea Party challenge. Analysts say incumbents and more moderate candidates have won a string of victories over Tea Party and grassroots candidates by campaigning farther to the right than they normally would.
Every establishment candidate ran like a Tea Party candidate. It was hard to tell the difference this time around because they had a uniting factor in opposing Obamacare, but also they united on things like immigration and trade and climate change.
The McConnell campaign didn't earn Matt Bevin's endorsement, but in his concession speech, Bevin did make his future intentions clear.
I have no intention whatsoever in this race or in any other race that I'm aware of at this time in this state of supporting the Democrat platform over that of the Republican platform.
Republicans hope to gain 6 seats in the Senate to take the majority from the Democratic caucus. Democrats plan to play offense in at least 2 states. In Kentucky, Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes has already had big names on the campaign trail with her, including former President Bill Clinton. Democrats hope to flip another seat blue in Georgia, where neither Congressman Jack Kingston nor David Perdue received more than 50% of the vote in their race for a soon-to-be vacant Senate seat, which means they'll face a runoff in July. Andrew Spencer, News 4, San Antonio.
As a reminder, early voting is underway for the runoff elections here in Texas. Polls open in Bexar County at 8 in the morning. And to see where you can go to vote, please go to our website, which is news4sa.com, and click on the red Get It button.
Developing news overnight, the LA Times is reporting Clippers owner Donald Sterling may have asked the woman who recorded his racist rant to lie. The Times says that is one of the revelations in the NBA's documents calling for Sterling's ouster. The documents claim Sterling asked companion V. Stiviano to tell the league she altered the recordings and that Sterling didn't make the racist rant. He has since apologized. Sterling has until next week to respond to the NBA's investigation.
Happening today, the public will finally get a chance to visit the new 9/11 Museum in New York City. The museum includes artifacts from the Twin Towers, firefighter gear, photos, and mementos. The museum was dedicated last week and has been reserved for visits from survivors, families, and first responders until now. Tickets are $24, but first responders and 9/11 families get in for free.
Also happening today, the Idaho horseback riders who helped save a teenage California girl from her abductor last year are being honored. Mark and Krista John and Mary and Mike Young will receive the 2014 Citizenship Award. It recognizes the efforts of people whose efforts help recover children.
We've got something for your health right now. A new study out overnight shows that cholesterol levels could affect fertility. Researchers tracked the cholesterol of couples trying to have a baby, and after a year, they found couples in which both partners had high cholesterol levels. They took the longest to conceive. Couples in which the woman had high cholesterol levels also took longer to get pregnant.
And we are all over the Spurs as they gear up for Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. Right now, the Spurs are up 1-0 in the series. We were told the team won't hold a shoot-around before tonight's game, but the Thunder will. The game is at the AT&T Center, and tip-off is at 8 o'clock. Tickets are still available for as little as $60. But we want to get you there for free. Be the fourth caller right now to win 2 tickets for seats on the lower level as well as a parking pass. Just call this number. 210-470-5444. Good luck.
Happening today, the women of San Antonio get their turn to take out their frustrations on Charles Barkley. Express Lube, Tika Molina, and a cute piñata want Spurs fans to take a swing at Barkley the Piñata. Yes, that is happening at 5 this evening at the Express Lube there on Broadway. And you can also grab a free Chuck Don't Know t-shirt.
You know, Chuck went out and visited Bamsey, I believe, yesterday. So Chuck does good things. Chuck mouths off a little bit, so he's an interesting character.
He stirs up a little interest,
yes.
for sure. Yes.
So he's in town. I know a lot of people have been trying to
caught him at
tell them what they think.
Right.
Yes.
We went to De Zavala Elementary School, and it's not on De Zavala. It's on the west side of town. We were very busy with the kiddos yesterday, so thanks to everybody at De Zavala Elementary. We filled the gymnasium. You can see lots of good kids, very attentive, had a great time, and of course we took the Ancira GMC Storm Tracker out there. There I am with the staff out in front of the school. Had a super time. Thank you to everybody out at De Zavala Elementary School. All right, so it's cloudy, it's warm. 71, humidity way up there, part of the World Car 4-zone network of camera. You can see that cloud deck. From space, you can see it pretty easily. But here's the big system that is spinning up over Nevada, expected to enter Colorado today and produce possibly some severe weather. For Texas, we'll see just exactly where it sits on the latitude, longitude as we get into Saturday and Sunday, and whether that will begin to spawn off some weather for us. This overcast you see that grows over the last few hours is very low levels, so it produces the clouds, but it doesn't produce the rain. Temperatures into the 60s and 70s across the region. The aquifer, wow, a whole foot down, 636.7. Certainly need that rain. All right, here's your 4-zone forecast for today. After the clouds break up, temperatures back up between 88 and 92. Out over the western zones of hill country, 82 to 86. Very, very comfortable temperature range, 84 to 88 with a little more cloud cover, maybe some sprinkles out over the eastern zones. And then for us here central, we're going to pop up to near 90 degrees if we don't break 90 out towards Cotulla and Tilden. For us, we're going to stay from the 70s into the 80s. Keep in mind those winds will be gusting this afternoon again, back up to 20 miles an hour. Breezy and warm tonight, 70. Winds still 10 to 15, so we need to keep an eye on that. Here's the 7-day outlook. We do have a little bit of rain scattered on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Should not impact your outdoor plans.
Josh Kaufman, a former teacher, is celebrating his win on The Voice last night. He now gets a record deal, and his first performance is coming up later this morning on the NBC Today Show.
And the Voice Summer Tour kicks off right here in San Antonio. And overnight, we learned that our own Deja Hall will be singing on stage. She tweeted out the news after the finale, and that tour starts on June 21st.
Now, The Voice isn't the only battle royale that's playing out here on News 4. You're about to see Cleto compete in a jump roping challenge.
And, here we go. Oh, boy, he's got some serious competition over at Hoffman Elementary this morning. Cleto, I see you're prepared. You turn your hat around like that.
That's right. That's
he needs all the help he can get.
If I could jump at all, we're about to find out. I'm going to do a little cameo with their grand finale here. This is Hoffman Elementary High Steppers, guys. All right, guys. All right, Jessica, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you before I whip myself here in the calf and the shin.
Yeah, he's getting an A for effort right now. That's about it. But that's okay. An A for effort is where it all starts. He has some good teachers out there. Let's take a look at what's happening around those roads right now. You are taking a live look with our World Car Sky 4 helicopter. And yes, this is that major apartment fire we have been following, but it is a little bit of a traffic situation with so many emergency crews around the area. This is 8000 Oakdale Way, very close to Eckerd and Huebner. Let's check in with Eric Johnson. Now, what is the commute looking like around this area?
Well, I can tell you our biggest concern is going to be this school, which is very close to this intersection of Oakdale Way and North Knoll. Oakdale Way is completely closed down still at this time, and we still have quite a few crews on Eckerd Road. That's right here. You can see right now, Jessica, on both sides of the road being blocked off.
And I believe that is Marshall High School that you're looking at. So, again, you may want to plan for some extra time if you have to get through that area this morning, because you can see just how many roads are blocked off. Take a look at our maps right now. There's also a major accident still underway at 1604 northbound at New Gilbo Road. You'll want to go ahead and jump off at 151 and take 410. I would discourage Bandera at this point because you might see a lot of extra commuters on there trying to get around that fire that's very close to there, very close to the medical center. And, again, otherwise on a road you're looking pretty good except for one spot, and we will tell you about that over on Fox 29 for the next 2 hours. We'll have your on-time traffic, so join us there and also on Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you, Jessica. Before we go, here are 4 things to know today. The Spurs take on the Thunder in Game 2 of the Western Finals tonight. It's at the AT&T Center with tip-off at 8. I already hear the basketballs dribbling here. Yes, we found tickets are available for about $60. And parts of Arizona are under evacuation orders right now because of a fire that is burning near Flagstaff. Firefighters have not been able to contain the 450-acre fire, which started by a spark from a car. And NASCAR is set to announce its latest class of inductees into the Hall of Fame. Leading nominees are racing magnate Bruton Smith and also 1999 NASCAR champ Dale Jarrett. And Judson ISD is hosting a big art show at Rolling Oaks Mall. Art will be displayed along the central walkway there with performances starting at 6:30. And now you can see why we have so much noise in the studio.
Sound effects, right. And the news continues, by the way, on our sister station, Fox San Antonio.
Here's Monica and Ernie with a look at what's coming up.
Well, good morning. The old rule that eating 6 small meals a day will help you lose weight may not exactly be right. How skipping one of those meals could actually help you lose even more.
And we have them, and they can be yours. Watch for your chance to win these Spurs tickets to be at Game 2 tonight.
I hope to see you in a few minutes for Fox News First.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
I can.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You win the gold star
So
today.
excited for tonight's game. Yes.
All right, let's show you what's going on. Kind of a partly cloudy afternoon today. Highs near 88 degrees. Some slight chances of rain come Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't see that really impacting your Memorial Day very much.
Okay, all right, thanks a lot. Yes, of course, go Spurs, go. And this morning we're going to leave you with a look at the apartment fire in the 8,000 block of Oakdale.